Hi everyone, my name is Raji and I am so excited to welcome all of you to Hack on the Hill 9. So this is our first hybrid hackathon and we thought it might be kind of cool to make this introductory video to just like tell you what to expect and also just compile some random tips that can help you get through this day. So before we get started, let's talk a little bit about what HOTH is all about. So this is our beginner-friendly hackathon. And so if you are someone who has never been to a hackathon before, don't be intimidated because a majority of our attendees are first-time hackers. Even if you've never really made a project before, that's totally fine. This is a great new way to like pick up new skills really quickly and just have a cool project that you can later add to your resume. It's also a great way to meet new people and make new friends, especially with COVID and everything. I really hope that you're able to take advantage of Discord and like just the social aspect of this entire event and just like meet some new cool people. End of the day, it's all about like having fun, getting some good food, and so just get hype because I promise you this is going to be like one of the highlights of your quarter. So to start off with, let's talk about team formation. Now, if you already have a team, then you're all set. But if you don't have a team, we can take care of that for you. So we have this team formation activity that will be happening at the beginning of the hackathon. So you can join that. You can also reach out to people on Discord, or if you already have an idea, you can share it on Discord and see if you can find people who share your interests and who are willing to join you. So that's one way to form your teams. Next up, once you have your team, you do want to start coming up with like your project idea, right? So one great thing about this particular hackathon is that we do have set themes. So we have like a sustainability track, we have like an education track and so on. So you can get inspired, like you can get inspired by those themes. You can also think about like a product that you already use, for example, and think about what aspect of that product you can improve. So you can think about what is something that you would want to use and just like use these questions as like guiding points. Just make sure that you're inclusive of everyone in the team and yeah, just enjoy the brainstorming process. But the thing is like one little hackathon secret is that it's totally fine to change ideas throughout the hackathon. So I've personally done this a lot of times. The thing is sometimes you start off with like a super ambitious idea and you hit some unforeseen obstacles. Or maybe you just run into some like super cool technology and like you're like, okay, I want to incorporate this into my project and you have to modify it a little bit. So don't be afraid to modify the project because at the end of the day, it's all about marketing. So as long as everyone on the team is on board with it, it's totally fine. Okay, now once you start coding, the thing is when multiple people are working on a code base, code can get really chaotic really quickly. So one great way to deal with that is version control. So version control is basically a way for you, like for like a team to collaborate on the same code base without losing track of all the changes that you make. So you may or may not have heard of Git, but that's like one of the tools that you can use for version control. If you've never heard of Git, we do have a workshop, like an introductory workshop to Git. So you can go ahead and check that out. It's on the HOTH website. You're not going to get through 4 years of doing CS or CS related majors at UCLA without knowing how to use Git. So this is also a great time to learn that. Next up, APIs. So you may have heard this term like thrown around a lot, and it stands for like application programming interface. But what it really means is basically just using someone else's code. So there's lots of smart engineers all over the world who have written lots of code to make your life easier. And so you can reuse that, and they've made it super easy to reuse. So for example, Google has this Google Maps API, and you can use that API to like embed Google Maps in your application. Or they also have like this voice recognition API that literally just like translates voice to words. And so you can find all these APIs online, just the documentation on that, and like, yeah, work with that. There's some really cool APIs out there. So you can also actually use this as like inspiration for a project idea and just decide to make a project like around a certain API. Okay, next one is another hackathon secret. And that's basically that ugly code is totally fine. Now, it's not fine with classes and it's not fine at work, but with hackathons, we do realize that you only have 12 hours, right? And you can't really like sit around and make sure that everyone has consistent style and like pretty code and all of that. So it's okay to have messy code as long as you know what you're doing, your teammates know what you're doing. So just use lots of comments, explain it to like explaining your code to yourself or to your teammates. But it's totally fine to have super messy code. Don't be bothered by that. Okay. Another thing is that because you're trying to make a whole project in one day, you will have bugs and stuff, right? If you can't figure something out, don't be afraid to ask for help. We have lots of mentors in Hack and outside of Hack who are joining us all day. So whether you are here virtually or in person, we are here to help you and support you. There's also a lot of online resources that you can use, like Stack Exchange. So you can just like copy paste an error code into Google, and maybe someone else has had that error before, and that can be of help as well. If there's a technology that you're completely unfamiliar with, like for example, if you're just getting into app development for the first time or something, you can also check out the different workshops that like we've made specifically for this event. They're all on our website. So these can just be some useful resources. And so yeah, just like make sure to ask for help when you need it. And finally, after you've finished making your project, you do have to make a demo. So this presentation or like this final demo is basically your best bet to convey all your efforts to the judges, right? So make sure that you hit all the points and make sure that you're not just like rushing it at the end, and like that your demo does justice to all the work that you've put in throughout the day. So some pointers are that your demo can include like your journey, your background, a little bit of like where everyone comes from, obviously focus on the technical aspect of the project. And you can also touch upon like, the scope for scalability or like future developments or improvements for your project. So yeah, don't be afraid to get creative with your demo, because this is like a great chance to like showcase that. But yeah. And yeah, that is pretty much it. Make sure to have fun, and maybe I will see you around if you're here in person. Bye.